Hello people, Zookstar 1000 here, and oh boy, I haven't made a video in a while, even though I promised last year that I would upload another review later that month. God, I suck at making promises. Well, I'm not going to be on YouTube for a while anymore now, so I thought I might as well wrap my video making up with my top 12 favourite video games of all time. Now, GexUp did this almost a year ago when he announced his retirement, and then other people on itstale.time.net started to do it. For me, though, I wanted to wait a while because, I'm still young and, opinions change over time, so I'm glad I waited for a while and decided to choose now to do it. I did do a written review on this as well, but I figured I might as well, since I haven't made a video in a while, I might as well do a video of it as well. Now, I was originally going to do this solo, but, you know, since Ragged Star did this as well, because, I have no originality whatsoever, I decided to have some guests with me. So here we have Cendoo,
Hi.
Chief Shadow 1750,
Greetings, y'all.
Spikehead Lionette, aka Jonah,
Sup?
Lindsay, also known as TheFemaleRed,
Hello.
and TMcBee.
Howdy, hey.
Right, now we can get this list started. Now, I want to throw a few things out there before we, get to number 12. Just to keep in mind, guys, I don't game as much as I used to, so don't expect.
Uh-oh.
Was that
What was
a
that?
gasp?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a
Yeah.
gasp.
Yep, total shocker right there. But I still game, just not as often as I used to. I consider it just a little fun little hobby. So,
Same here.
don't expect, big mainstream games to appear like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time or Okami or Portal or whatever people consider their favorite games of all time are. I mean, it's not that I
Call of
dislike.
Duty.
I mean, I don't dislike these games. I don't think they're bad. It's just I haven't really played them that much. And also, tiebreakers are allowed because my list I can do whatever I want. Nah, here's Adam. Oh wait, I mean Foamy.
Well, whatever he just said, I agree with him.
Hey Adam.
Hello.
Oh yeah, and also expect to see a lot of platformers on this list because, well, I like platformers. I mean, who doesn't? If you don't, you
Well,
should
I
be.
like them.
Don't.
okay, I don't think you need to explain that considering
I
our
like-
website is named after a platformer's catchphrase.
Yeah.
I like platformers. It's a platform is only good depending on how twisted and challenging it is.
Yep. And the final thing I'm gonna say, and this is the most, this is the most important. This is my opinion, and these games are just my personal favorites. I don't consider them to be the greatest games of all time. I just consider them to be my personal favorites. So, we ready?
I'm all ready.
All
Yeah.
right.
Do it.
All right, Adam. Just to let you know, we're letting the people here say the number, and then I'll say the game's name on that number. So you can say number 12.
Alrighty then.
On you go.
Okay. Wait. Haven't we started?
Just
Yeah, we
say that
have.
number.
Yeah. Say the.
Wait. Are we up to number 12?
Yeah.
Are
Well.
we going to include this in a blooper reel?
I guess
Maybe.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I thought.
I might do that
I was a bit
actually.
confused there. Okay. All right then. Number 12.
Crash Team Racing. Okay, now people, it was hard to decide what would the 12th favorite video game would be, considering I wanted to put a racing game on this list, and throughout the years, I've played Crash Team Racing the most out of all these racing games. So that one's number 12. Why is it number 12, and why do I consider it my favorite racing game? I figured it's got the most balance out of any racing game. And to be truthful, I prefer this racing game over any of the Mario Kart games. Like, okay, I don't, not that I disrespect the Mario Kart games at all. I mean, I still respect it because it did start the kart racing formula first. But Crash Team Racing is more fast paced and offers a bit more variety, and actually gives a reason to play the game. You know, unlike Mario Kart 64, which really didn't have anything to unlock when you play the game.
Oh
So,
no, that's gonna cause some fanboy attacks. Hit the deck.
but please,
No.
fanboys aren't gonna touch me. So yeah,
Ew.
yeah, I just feel. I also like they also had hub worlds into this game. I know Diddy Kong Racing did do it first, but I did think it was more fitting for this game, and also the time trials. Okay, I know I'm gonna get even more heat on this, but I feel that the time trials work here better than they did in Crash Bandicoot Warped, because this is a racing game, and it allows you to go as fast as possible without any interruptions. And even then, the time trials can still be tricky. So that's
Time
why
trial. Sorry.
that's why I think they work the best in CTR, if you want to call it that.
Mm.
So yeah,
Time trial.
what was that?
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I will admit though, Mario Kart's tracks are a lot more creative, but I think Crash Team Racing's tracks are just a bit more memorable. To me anyway. I guess that's a bit biased because I did play CTR as a kid instead of Mario Kart.
Well, it's understandable because everybody has, like, they'll start off with a kart racing game. Like, some people will start with Mario Kart, others will start with Crash Team Racing, and others will start with Diddy Kong Racing, or maybe even others. So they'll definitely remember that as their
I-
nostalgia trip. So,
I started with Snowboard Kids too.
oh yeah, that one was a good one.
Yeah, I also like the addition of boss fights. Well, and by that, boss races. I just think they add more to the challenge, and I don't think any Mario Kart game had that. And I don't know about Diddy Kong Racing though. Did that have any boss races?
Oh yeah, they did. Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
right, okay.
Oh
Sorry.
yes,
They were really tough.
I used to play a lot of Diddy Kong Racing as well as Mario Kart 64.
All right. So, yeah, I guess that's all I would have to say about Crash Team Racing. It's just a fun experience for me. I mean, for some reason, the more I play this game as I get older, I just love it a lot more. Unlike with Mario Kart, at least to me anyway.
That's fine.
But
Oh, geez.
well, no, again, I'm not saying Mario Kart's bad. I just, prefer
Mhm.
Crash Team Racing.
Time
Uh,
trials.
No, I understand. Don't worry
Time
about
trials.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm not shoving it down your throats, guys. I'm just giving you my honest opinion.
it.
I'll
Yeah,
give it-
Fine.
I know. I may adore Mario Kart 8 a lot nowadays, but I respect your opinion no matter what.
Oh yeah, and if you want to know my opinions on the sequels, I know this is a bit irrelevant, but if you want my opinions on the sequels to this game, Crash Nitro Kart and Crash Tag Team Racing,
Both not made by Naughty Dog.
yeah, I'm not really a fan of these two. I mean, Crash Nitro Kart felt like it was trying much to be a good sequel to Crash Team Racing, and Crash Tag Team Racing wasn't really much of a racing game. Racing game was only like 15% of it. The rest was like
Yes.
boring adventure fetch
which
quests
was
and missions.
which
Boy,
was
talk about false advertising.
Tag Team
Pretty much.
Racing. Definitely not inspired by Mario Kart Double Dash. Time
Yeah.
trials, that's that one feature that nobody plays, but every game has to include it so critics don't say they took away features.
Pretty much, yeah. Alright then, Cendoo, will you care to say the next number?
Oh, I always get the odd numbers. Number 11.
Spider-Man 2. I've said before, if you remember my top 10 movie-based games, I put this at number 1, and I still stick to that opinion because Spider-Man 2, man, it's unlike any other superhero games I've played because it actually gives you the feeling of being a superhero. And why is that? Because because of the exploration factor. You can literally explore New York City, like every inch of it, even the
That's,
Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
that's actually not an uncommon opinion. Game trailers put that game at the number one superhero game too. Even Yahtzee, the zero punctuation guy, admitted it was surprisingly
Well,
great.
hey, well, hey, that that shows how good the exploration factor is. And
Yeah, the,
It's better than the newer ones.
the differences in between the difference in between the first Spider-Man video game and Spider-Man 2, the video game, is that Spider-Man 2 gives you more freedom to go around New York City. Well, if you just drop down in the first one, you'll die.
yeah, with the first Spider-Man game to me, I don't really know what I got much out of it. I mean, I just
I kind of like that one the best personally. Not that I think that Spider-Man 2 is the worst. I loved it too. I loved the freedom and all that. It's just that I love pulling off the combos more better because I find it more easier. But
yeah,
that's just
I just think Spider-Man 2 is the best because since it has a huge
it does have
exploration
action there.
factor. Wait, what's that?
You're the best around.
What's that?
I love how it packs an action as well as the free roam.
Yeah, and I'll admit, most of the missions, well, the majority of them anyway, were pretty fun to do. Although, and yeah, I say the majority of them because I do remember getting frustrated by some missions.
Oh yeah.
Especially with that damn
Which one?
kid's balloon.
Oh, that I hate when that happens. It has to interrupt me when I want to do exploration.
Wait, which one's that again?
That's what the rescuing the damn balloon was in Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I had no idea what to do when I first did that.
I tried so many times to succeed in that mission, but most of the time I hear the kids crying or the balloon pops.
hmm Oh yeah, and I think another reason why this is pretty low on the list is because of the weak combat system. At least from what I remember, it really
Yeah,
kind of bugged me a lot.
that's kind of why I preferred the first Spider-Man movie, the video game, is because the combat system is easier to pull off
Agreed.
when you fight bad guys.
Yeah, and oh, here's a big shocker, guys. This is one of the few movie-based games I've played of which had good controls. Imagine that. Movie-based game had good controls. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it?
This
Yeah.
is preposterous. It's as if they made it to be played.
Oh yeah, totally amazing there. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I mean, the story's pretty much, it's a movie-based game.
movie.
Of course, it's gonna have the same as the movie. So, yeah. All right then, let's move on to. Oh, well, Chief Shadow, will you mind saying the next number?
Okay, no problem. Number 10.
Now we're in the platformers, Super Mario World, and okay, I really need to get I need to get a better strong flame shield for this because I put a Mario game so low on the list.
Here you go, buddy.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Mario, I know he was the first to do it. I do appreciate him for starting the platforming genre the first, but I don't know. He's just probably the most. I think he's the least. He has the least appeal when it comes to platformers for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Games like Super Mario 64 and Galaxy were really, really, really good. But I've always preferred the other platformer games.
Okay.
Even the ones that are less popular than Mario, even Sonic.
Yeah. That's understandable. Don't worry about it because I can understand with Mario he does the same thing over and over again, whereas like other platformers have to have a little more personality. So like Mario's more of the charm than just, I guess the personality. So
I suppose.
Yeah.
But now the game on this list that's a Mario game is, well, Super Mario World. And why is that? I mean, I know everybody says this is their favorite Mario game, but come on. There's a reason why. It's got good challenge. It may still be cheap. It may still be cheap when it comes to challenge, but I still think it balances out pretty well. And that the levels were, oh my god, some of the best levels I've seen on the
Which one's that?
SNES next to Donkey Kong Country. And
Oh yeah.
And
Not to mention that they got so many ROM hacks all over the internet.
please, who does? I don't really do ROM hacks. Um, not to not to mention the variety, especially the addition of that famous baby dinosaur Yoshi.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so cute.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
the
Urban
debut
Super
of
Mario
Yoshi.
World, isn't it?
Yep, and the
Yep,
power-ups and the addition of power-ups. I know they were pretty much a downgrade compared to Super Mario Brothers 3, but I think that was for the better because I really didn't want too many power-ups to detract from the whole platforming experience.
That's yeah, I can understand what you mean by Super Mario Brothers 3 with the power-ups because some of them feel very unnecessary, even though there are some that are really cool. So yeah, and then also like with Super Mario World, you can actually save, whereas Super Mario Brothers
Oh
3,
yeah, that's right. You
you
can keep
can't
your
save.
power-ups in a little inventory box that they add.
Also, save files.
Save
Yeah,
files, yeah.
Although, Super Mario All Stars had Mario 3 with save files.
yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, if I played that game, that probably would have been here instead of Super Mario World, but I haven't, so.
All Stars, it's just, the 4 games, 5 if you have the one with Super Mario World, but with Super Nintendo graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to mention, some of the best controls I've ever experienced in a Mario game. There's no stuffiness. It's actually smooth and fluent and very very well responsive. Like
Oh yeah.
most of the cheap deaths in the game were never caused by the controls, unlike certain other games.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, what else there's to say about Super Mario World that hasn't really been said already? It's just a superb game. It's really fun. I wish Donkey Kong Country could have been here instead of this, but I haven't played that game in a while, so or Donkey Kong Country 2, but oh well. So number 10, Super Mario World. Woohoo!
Oh, don't worry about flame shields. If it makes you feel better, there is no Mario games on my top 12.
Well, Cendoo, as the list goes on, my flame shield will need to grow bigger and bigger because this next one will probably cause a lot of heat as well. So, Jonah, will you say the next number?
Number 9.
Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back.
Oh, I used to
no.
watch my cousin play that game all the time.
Oh no. I put Cortex Strikes Back on this list and not Warped. What the fuck is wrong with me? What the hell is wrong with me?
He obviously likes the ridiculous ways you have to find all the gems.
Yeah,
How
that
could you
and
put Cortex Strikes Back over Warp, you big fucking dummy?
No, we're not letting any trolls here. Or
It's all right. I'm just joking around.
Yeah, I know, of course.
all right.
Okay. Okay,
Here's
go ahead.
here's the reason why I prefer Crash 2 a lot more than Crash 3 is because I played both games earlier this year just to see which one I liked the best, and I figured when it comes to replay value, Crash Bandicoot 2 just offered the right amount because in Crash Bandicoot Warped you had the addition you had to collect the crystals, the gems, and also the time relics. And remember, I said earlier in CTR that I feel that they work in that game better than Warps. It's because in every level of Crash Bandicoot Warped there's a chance you have to get a relic, and including the vehicle levels. And I'll admit, now I don't really like the swimming levels or the bike racing levels anymore. They kind of annoy me now. I mean, you guys can say what you want about the jetpack in Crash 2, but I honestly would rather play that than racing on the bikes and the swimming levels in Crash 3.
I didn't like the last world in Crash 2. It had dark stages, which I hate.
Crash 3 had dark stages as well.
Yeah, but I don't remember
But
those,
the only
so
thing
I
about
can't think about
the
them.
only thing about Warped is there is only one level that's in the dark. And that was the very last level. But like what Mark says, it's pretty much all depends on the challenge. And since there's more night levels with Crash Bandicoot 2, it gives a little bit more. It gives a little bit more challenging, and well,
Yeah, and in terms of level design, I feel Crash 2 had the most charm. I mean, yeah, Crash 3 had a bit more variety with all the time travel levels, but Crash 3 actually had the most, how should I put it, Crash Bandicoot-ish levels, because there's one level where you had to run, where there had beehives, and if you get stung by them, you get a funny death animation with Crash, inflating in that. That was pretty
Oh yeah,
funny.
the death animations in both Crash Bandicoot 2 and Warped are freaking hilarious. Every time I see them, I just freaking laugh my ass off.
I love that stage.
Yeah, friggin' Crash.
Yeah, I
Fine.
know. I know a lot of people will say that the level designs still feel similar to the first Crash game, but I feel that they're a lot more polished in this game.
Oh, I don't say they feel similar to the first game. I say they feel similar to the same game, but at the last world.
When you
Yeah.
mention like it has more charm in it, do you mean like it has more of a feeling like it's close to its actual formula of the series?
Yeah, somewhere along the lines of that. I mean, I'm not saying Crash. I'm not saying Warped didn't totally feel
Like you're
like a.
more familiar with it?
Well,
Yeah,
it is the only one I managed to 100%.
yeah. Well, I did think getting 100% in Warped with all the time relics and that really did become stressful for me. Whereas in Crash 2, all you had to do was get the crystals and the gems, and then you get the true ending. I feel that that was just enough to satisfy me when it comes to a game like Crash Bandicoot.
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
Yep.
still
Alright.
think, okay, I do admit, in terms of boss fights, Crash Bandicoot 3 did have the better boss fights, but I still think they were I still think they were pretty fun to fight and a bit memorable in Crash 2, despite how ridiculously easy the Komodo brothers were.
Oh god. When I tried them out, I beat them one go, but then again, it still is still pathetic.
Yeah, and like Cendoo said, I also love the subtle, secrets that they give you to get another gem. And come on, who many of us here knew that one of them was in a bottomless pit? Come on, who knew?
I kind of figured I did.
Oh,
I
real?
want to say I knew, but I didn't. I just fell in there by accident, and
Alrighty. Oh yeah, and I know a lot of people say Crash Bandicoot 3's music was the best. I kind of disagree. I think I like Crash 2's music the best. I just find it more catchy and more memorable, especially the sewer levels.
Oh yeah, I actually do like the music, especially the one when Crash is being chased by a boulder or a giant bear.
Oh yeah.
That
I actually
those
do.
musics,
I
those
will
musics
admit,
are
I
really great.
Oh, sorry, were
eh,
you gonna say something,
yeah,
Chief?
that was
Sorry.
I will
that was
admit.
All right. Okay.
that was cooler than the dinosaur in the third game. That was kind of boring.
Oh yeah, the dinosaur. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
To, to be honest, I did like the Coco levels. Well, the only level I did like with Coco in Crash Bandicoot Warp was the tiger riding levels. But I kind of liked playing Crash on a polar bear as well because it was a lot more fast paced, at least to me.
Mm.
Oh okay.
All right. I think that's all I've got to
Well,
say about Crash Bandicoot 2, my favorite game. And can I please go now? I'm okay
yes,
with putting Crash Bandicoot 2 as my favorite and not Warped. Is that okay,
I
please?
am
Yeah, that's
perfectly
fine.
fine with
yes.
that.
Nobody said it wasn't okay.
It's the fanboys, that will watch
Ah,
this video and probably
Hey,
oh,
rage.
I may
don't
like
worry, they
Crash
don't
Bandicoot
matter.
Warped, but I can definitely respect your opinions that you like Cortex Strikes Back over Warped.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Crash Bandicoot Warped is a really solid platformer. I just think Crash 2 does it a lot more for my taste.
I also kind
Mhm.
of, when I was playing through it more recently, I found it really easy for the crystals and gem to get the crystals and gem and Warped. In Cortex Strikes Back, I had a little bit more of a challenge to try to get the crystals and gems.
Oh yeah.
So I'll give some props.
I
So I
actually
got to give
loved the
props.
Sorry. I was
I
actually
was
gonna back you up.
All right, then let's move on. Lindsay, will you care to say what number 8 is? I mean, well, no, what the
9.
number 8?
Number 8.
Spyro, Year of the Dragon. All right,
Oh,
guys.
Hell
Yay!
yes.
Yay! I'm not the only
Fancy.
one who likes it better than 2.
Yeah, pretty
First
much.
PS1 game I ever played.
Although I will admit, guys, just like with the Crash games, I did play all three Spyro games back to back earlier this year, and really it was a pretty hard decision to decide which one I liked the best. Spyro 1, there was a lot of improvements to be had in that game, but I think it had it had the best atmospheric levels. Spyro 2, I know a lot of people nowadays say this is their favorite Spyro game now, but I don't know,
Call.
when it comes to Spyro 2, I just feel it's too short for me. I find it beating it a lot faster uh, than I thought. But with Spyro 3, I still stand by and say it's my favorite of the three because it just has the most fun factor for me, especially with the playable characters. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like playing as the other characters." Well, I think that they add a bit more variety to the table because
That's
they fit very well in the Spyro universe, and it's not like they take up half of the game. I still find myself playing as Spyro more anyway, so I don't know why too many people are complaining.
Yeah,
Oh dear. Was that your impression of Gex Up?
No, no.
Because
I
yes, Gex Up's the one who said he hated playing the other characters.
Well, I don't think he really coined the whole "I hate playing as other characters" thing because I think many Sonic fanboys before have said that they don't like playing
Yeah,
as other
yeah.
Why
characters.
the
And
wait? Why would Sonic fanboys say that?
no, no, I meant like they started the whole term of I don't like playing as other characters in platformers.
Ah, yes. Trick question.
I honestly don't have any problems playing as the other characters because it gives you another chance to try out something different while you take one level break from playing as the main protagonist.
Exactly. Although I will
Exactly.
admit now, I know I used to say that Agent 9 was my favorite playable character. Now I think Sheila is because she's a lot more. She's probably the most fun to use and can, kick a Rhinox butt in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
At least that's how
And
the game shows it.
I don't remember the names, but
the
what's the one with the penguin with the who flies and shoots
Sergeant Bird.
missiles?
Sergeant
Oh yeah,
Bird, also known as James.
yeah. I like to fly around with him a lot and shoot missiles.
I liked Agent 9 for 2 stages, but I hated his first person stages.
I didn't mind those, to be honest. I guess
Yeah, they weren't terrible. It was just kind of disappointing because he was a lot of fun to play on foot.
true. I oh yeah. What about Sparks? Oh yes, I think Sparks was okay to play as well, even though his levels were just top-down shooters. But they were all worth it in the end to get these wee abilities for Sparks to use.
It was kind of satisfying because I always secretly wanted to control Sparks.
Hmm.
There you go.
I I honestly my favorite part. Well, one of my favorite parts about the game is you seem to you seem to find the missing dragon eggs all over the other parts of the levels.
Hmm.
hmm
Okay, and while I admit,
Even if you don't complete the levels, there are just still some eggs about to find.
I know I said that Spyro 1 had the most atmospheric levels, but Spyro 3 had definitely the most unique and creative levels. Like, you had like oh, anybody remember the very last level in the end where you had dinosaurs as cowboys?
Oh,
That was
oh,
Oh
that
yes,
was
I
kind of like
remember
an
that.
epic.
Yes.
That was like an epic way to cap it all off.
Yeah.
that wasn't technically the last level, but it was in the last
The
world.
last main level I'm talking about, where you do all the collecting and that.
Um,
It's
what-
not my favorite level, but it is a good one.
I'm not saying it's my favorite level. I'm just giving it's a good example of how the levels in Spyro 3
well,
were
is there?
the most
Fireworks
creative.
Factory had the best music, I think.
Fireworks Factory, definitely, definitely.
Oh yeah, I remember the music.
I I kind of prefer Spyro 2's music simply because it was more magical and breathtaking, especially with the homeworlds in that game. But Spyro 3 still has a really kick-ass soundtrack with a lot of
Oh, it
memorable
does.
songs.
Yeah.
I remember the first Hub World music.
Although, mm,
So does my mum. Like the first
also,
home build, when I first got Spyro 3, I played it so much. The Sunrise Spring and technically Evening Lakes theme song is embedded in my mum's memory even today. and she will not let me play that game in her house ever again.
Really?
Oh gosh. And also,
I just laugh.
there was the first Spyro game had one song reused on the Amanda Show.
Oh yeah, the Magic Craft, the Wizard Peak song.
That was weird.
Oh yeah, not to mention that another really good part about Spyro 3 was the skateboarding levels.
Yes,
Oh my!
Yes.
I love those.
I honestly can't stop playing those.
Because I was never a fan of the Tony Hawk games, but Spyro 3 really made me love skateboarding games. Not skateboarding games, skateboarding levels.
I used to play a lot of Tony Hawk, so yeah, I was kind of familiar with it.
Yeah,
But
same
when
here.
you're in the air, you can technically, have more freedom to how much flips or spins or corkscrews you want to pull off as Spyro on a skateboard.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I guess the only thing bad I could say about Spyro 3 is there were some missions that were a little bit irritating. I mean, I used to say Charmed Ridge was my least favourite level in Spyro 3, in my old reviews. Now I'm reconsidering that because Haunted Tomb, you are a fucking pain in the arse. I'm saying that
Wait,
right now.
when you race against him?
Sorry for
Oh.
dropping. Wait, what's that?
When you race against him on the skateboard?
No. The
I can remember one of them.
Haunted Tomb.
Yeah, that's the one with the riddles, wasn't it?
That was the second last level.
Okay, technically there isn't a direct order, so...
Oh, well, I've got to say it some way, but... Yeah. And also, yeah. Pretty much, yeah, I really didn't like that level at all when I played it again, but, other than that, I still
didn't it have the easiest skill point?
Oh, yeah, I mentioned that with you before, yeah, the whole going under the tunnel thing. That was pretty much obvious. Like, who wouldn't think to do that?
I've been playing so much the missions on it a long time ago. I kind of got some of it, if not most of them.
Three is my favorite, but I think 2 had the best boss fights.
Yeah, and also, I have failed to mention this throughout these games, but now I'm mentioning the story. And Spyro 3 is... And when it comes to Spyro and Crash, Spyro did focus more on the storyline, and I think I like Spyro 3's story the best because it had Bianca, who was probably the most developed character in the series because she was working for the sorceress, and then when she finds out what the sorceress does, she decides to turn against her. And then she develops a romantic interest in Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was cute, so...
There
Indeed.
You go.
So yeah, I know all of you guys out there will probably still think Spyro 2 is your favorite, and that's totally fine. I totally get where you're coming from, and I totally respect the fact that you don't like playing as the characters, even though I did mock you a wee bit, but doesn't. But But
I did play a lot of Spyro 2 as well. It's just it's just Spyro 3 is just the one I played first.
yeah, but guys, I'm just sticking with my opinion, and I have to be as honest as I can. Spyro 3 still remains as my favorite Spyro game of all time.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
It's
I
awesome.
do for 3 to 2 actually. So
Yes, 3 is also my favorite of the 3 of trilogy.
Same here, but it's Mark's opinion.
All right, then.
Wait, didn't you tell me Ripto was your favorite of the main bosses?
Well, he is my favorite villain in the series. Yeah, he was... Okay, just like with Crash 2 and Crash 3, Spyro 2 did have better boss fights, but, I still think the boss fights in Spyro 3 were pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though the battle with the sorcerers was kind of... Well, you had to use turrets to fight the sorcerers, which I thought was kind of weird. But, let's be honest, it's better than chasing Nasty Nork all the time in Spyro 1.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a boss fight, that was just a wild goose chase.
they didn't have any boss fights in the first game. You take out something and then they say, "Oh, you've beaten a boss." It was like that was a boss fight.
No, they did. They had the stages that was supposed to be a boss fight, like Toasty in the first one.
Let's be honest, they feel like bigger enemies rather than boss fights.
I agree.
And there was one boss called Blowhard.
Oh god.
What a pun.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow hard there.
Do you think we should